In this TradeMiner video, we're going to go through and just quickly look at the group settings in the Settings tab. Now, the Settings tab is basically the same in every version, whether you're looking at the Stocks version, which is the one we're looking at here, the Forex version, or the Futures version. You'll notice that setting up groups is exactly the same. So I'm going to example setting up a group using the Stocks version again. Now, this is the entire historical database, or all of the different symbols that are available to us in the entire database. Now, we might not want to search every single one of these when we go to the search tab. We might want to just search by sectors or groups or specific groups that we might want to create that are custom to us. So the way we do that is we simply come in here and say, maybe I want to only search through the healthcare industry. So I select healthcare, and now nothing is selected except for in the industry. You'll see just the healthcare is selected. Any of the healthcare industry stocks are selected, and so there's a nice grouping of them right there. So when we come over to the search tab, when we do the dig now, we're only going to search and get results for the healthcare industry. That's how the settings work. Now let's come back here and let's go let's check all. So these little buttons down here, check selected, check all, uncheck selected, and uncheck all. Very simple. And what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to create our own group. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and I'm going to uncheck all selections. So we now have nothing selected, and I'm going to make my own group. Now, on whatever criteria you choose. Now, maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, I'm going to search by PE ratios, high PE ratios. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to select a range. So I can select a range, and I hold down the Shift key and click the left mouse button, and that selects that range. That's just the standard Microsoft selection tool. So you click this range. Now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say check selected. So now that I've checked those are selected. Now I can also come down and add in a different one or two that I might want that's not through that particular range. So I might come in here and I can just say, well, I want this one, I want this one, and I want this one too. Or you can come down and you can do a control key and hold down the control key, and every one that you click with the control key is going to select like this. So you can select a few with the control key, and then you can come down and say check selected, and it's going to put those into the group. So now we've created kind of this custom group for whatever reason we've created them, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say save group. So now I'm going to come in here and say this is my group, and I hit OK. So now I have my own custom group. So when I come over to search, the only thing I'm going to get are results from my own custom group. Now let's say we want to add a couple more to that group. All we have to do is come in here and say, I'm going to hold down the control key, and I'm going to select this one, I want this one, this one, and this one, and I want those in my group. So now that my group is selected, all I have to do is hit save group again, and it adds those in. Oh, I first have to hit check selected. Don't forget that part, because see, they're selected, but they're not checked. So I have to hit check selected. Now they're selected. Now I can hit save group, and it's going to add those into my group. So I can modify my group anytime I want. If I want to take some out, I just take a couple of out. I don't want those in my group. Hit save group again, and it's going to save those, save my group the way I have it now currently checked. And so now I can come in here. Now what if I want to create a new group? What I have to do is I have to come down here, and I have to come up and I'll say new, and it's going to select all of them, and I just say I just don't want all of them in this group, so I'm just going to come down here and say uncheck all. Now I can sort by something else, maybe by market cap, and I'm going to bring all the huge market caps to the top, and I'm going to say I'm going to hold down my shift key, but I don't want these three in there, so I can do that just by holding down the control key and taking out a few, and then I can say okay, check selected. That's my new group, and I can say save group, and this is my new group 2, and I can hit OK. So now I have multiple groups. I can set up multiple groups just by using check selected, check all, uncheck selected, uncheck all. Giving them names is important, because when you want the new group, you have to come down here and say new group, which will select all of them, and then you're going to want to uncheck all of them if you don't want all of them in your new group. But that's the key. Otherwise, you're going to have your group down here. Say you come down here and you have my group, and then if you start adding into it like this, and then hit save group, it's going to add those into your existing group. All right. So to get rid of the groups that we've created, now if we don't want them anymore, it's very simple. We pull up the group, we say remove group. Are you sure you want to remove this group? You say yes, and it's gone. One more, my group 2, I'm going to remove that group. Are you sure you want to remove it? Yes. And that's how we set up custom groups in TradeMiner.